I was brought up to value education, value making a difference in the community, value security, and value doing God's work. Coming from a war-torn country to America, my parents didn't have much, so to endeavor a good life for themselves and for their 7 kids makes sense. My parents pushed me to aim high. I was to pursue education and pursue God. As I got older, I had 2 career choices. I was to become a lawyer or a doctor. Because they also didn't want me to get into gangs like so many Hmong families they knew. They sent me to a Christian private school. We didn't have much money, so my parents had us work their cleaning business with them to make money, as well as we got financial aid through an organization called Kids First. During this time, I saw my father love God and serve his people. We did it together. It was part of my life. I was oblivious to the struggles of it. I don't think I experienced the toll ministry had on a family until I graduated college with my Bachelor's of Arts degree in English. You see, I was all set for law school. I had done 3 legal internships each summer of my undergrad. I had a great reference from a professor whose uncle had been named after the library of the law school of choice. A law firm I had previously interned for was preparing for the day I would graduate. My heart was set on making a difference through it. I dreamed I would practice at the firm for a while and then eventually delve into social justice. But then I came home. I came home to the aftermath of a broken family because of the hardships of ministry. Living in a home with all that pain had me questioning my career choice because I didn't want the life my parents had. This had me reflecting on a movie quote. For you Marvel fans out there, do you remember that movie, X-Men, Days of Future Past? When a scene where Professor X was communicating with his younger self. The younger told the older, I don't want your suffering. I don't want your future. Do you remember the anguish and sorrow in his voice? Those were the same thoughts I reflected on and cried about at night. While the younger professor came around pretty immediately, it seemed, that didn't happen to me. I sought a different future for myself. I said I would only serve God if and only if I was stable. That is when I started on a new journey. I started researching network events, which led me to my first one. It was a really good one hosted by a tech firm. I was impressed with the presentation about customer service-focused IT solutions. Afterwards, I went to one of the recruiters and told them this was the company for me. I stalked them for 6 to 8 months until they gave me a job. That is how my tech career started. As I continued my journey, working in IT, living in a little studio in uptown Minneapolis, and eating at my favorite restaurants, I found I was only able to purchase temporary happiness. Little things started to get to me. I would be upset about not getting my TV on time in the mail, spending $30, $40 a night on tasteless takeout food. I had the basics of everything, and going in a direction I thought I wanted, but I wasn't happy. My wake-up call was being laid off. A few months after, I decided to try things God's way. This led me to my Baptist youth camp at the age of 25. It opened my eyes to experiencing God's love and seeing his love for me through my church. I started getting involved in ministry again, from fundraising to nursery. Things were going great for a while, but in 2018, things changed. God was calling me to do something else, and it was painful. It was painful because I knew that it meant leaving my church, but I also knew I needed to obey. The door he opened for me was a place at River Life doing homeless ministry. I knew it because I saw God through it. I didn't see him physically, but I knew it to be God's work because I had read about it in the Bible, and now I was experiencing it. Please know that there are still times I don't understand why things happen. I plead and I cry out to God, why is this happening to me? Why is this so hard? I know I am to trust you, but are you sure? Thankfully, I have come around so far and trust him again. Over time, God shows me that he is good and that he provides. That is why I trust. That is why I obey, and I turn back to him, because there's nothing worth living for. The more I see him, the more I take steps to follow him. As imperfect as they may be. In my almost 30 years of living, I discovered that I only think I know what is best. God, in all his power, who knows all things, created all things, will always know what is best. When I choose to seek him, when I choose to ask for his help, when I choose to follow him, I find that I become part of his story, and it is the best one yet. Even if I don't have all the money I think I should have, the nicest house, or the best job, I see him and experience him, and that is the greatest thing worth living for.